So I'm going to open this letter, see, and show you. This is a check I received from a scammer. 1,300 euro. Look at it. 1,300. This is how to write one in France, and then 300 euro. This is my name here, and it is written in Word. It says 1,300 euro or 7 euro. So that's 1,300 euro. Now, recently, after I finished my program, yeah, I'm glad to say that I've finished my MSc program in France, and I've been looking for a job. So I said, okay, how to start with? I'll be looking for menial jobs, and I'll also be looking for white collar jobs, blue collar jobs, and white collar jobs. And then I went on this website. I started submitting application. The name of the website is called Levencoin. In Levencoin, we can actually buy stuff from people, and I think you can apply for jobs as well, maybe menial jobs like that. So I said, let me just do that and start applying for jobs. And suddenly, just upon submitting how many applications, I say like 10 applications, 3 people reached out to me. And of the 3 people that reached out to me, one of them actually asked me to submit my details, my phone number, my name, and my address, quoting my postal code. And I said, okay, let me give this a try. Maybe they're gonna ask me to see the contract and sign it and the rest like that. So that's how when I received this email, immediately, few hours later, the same person called me on the phone. I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be good. Called and started speaking French. I didn't really understand. I don't really understand French very well. I was just saying, okay, no problem, okay, no problem. And because he mentioned my name and asked, quoted my postal code number, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be good and the rest like that. And I thought what he's sending me in the post is the contract. I didn't know he's gonna send a check. And so he sent a check. And one thing I know that in France, if you are looking for a job, the procedure is this: when you apply for a job, you do an interview. We didn't do an interview. I thought, okay, since it's a manual job, maybe they wouldn't require me to do an interview. And so I didn't do an interview. And then so one thing I know that you will be interviewed. After you're interviewed, if you get the job, they will then ask you to send your email address. They will send you the contract where you have to sign and do some administrative procedures like that. Maybe even your referral or your referral, yeah, your referee will sign as well and stuff like that. But I didn't do that, and the person just sent me this check that okay. And after he said he was going to send me this check, he said that he will send me they sent me an email of the things I will buy with the check. That I will use 200 euros to buy the uniform. The job I applied for was like order picker or something like that. Will be loading trucks and offloading trucks, taking inventory and the rest like that. So when they sent that email, they gave a description of how things will go, the operation and everything that I'll be doing in the firm or the company, and the uniform that I'll wear. So the reason why they sent this check is for me to use 200 euros to buy 2 uniform shirts, 2 t-shirt, and 1 trouser, and then buy a pair of shoes as well. And then the remaining 1,100 euro, I'll use it to send, or they'll use it for some insurance stuff like that and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let's see. Since they are sending me a check, because one thing I know is that if they send you a check, it's like they are paying you. I didn't know it was actually a fake check, but I wasn't excited at the moment that I went to the post to my mailbox and got the check. I wasn't really excited. 1,300 euro. Nobody gives you money without working. You understand? So I took this to my friend and showed him, wow, this actually looks somehow legit, and the check looks legit. It's not like printed on A4 paper. It's the paper is actually good, and you know it looks legit. And the address of the bank is here. The address of the person that sent it is here. The date, and so I was like, okay, this is good, but I was still having doubts in my mind because it's more like I didn't sign any contract. You are paying me 1,300 euro, and if we are to convert it to Nigerian naira, because I'm from Nigeria, that's almost like 2.4 million naira. So I'm like, wow, you're sending me this money, and how come? Okay, so I was like, okay, I'll show it to my friend. And there's one guy that speaks French here. He's working. He's an Indian. I went and met him and told him this is what um, actually happened. I applied for this job, and then they sent me a check and all the stuff. And then he was like, okay. He looked at it and looked at it. He started saying, this check is not real. We did some search on Google, and we tried to search deep into the company, and we saw that the company was closed, but they have other subsidiaries that are still active and the rest like that. So I was still not clear. We were still not clear if it is fake or if it is true. So, and the person that actually sent me this check called me on the phone and told me, okay, he has sent the check and he has received a notification that that the check has been delivered to my mailbox. I should go and check it and cash it or deposit it in the bank. And I don't know how things work here, so he was just saying deposit, deposit. Okay, so what I did was to wait and not to be too excited to receive 1,300 euro as a student that's looking for a job. And if you're being paid 1,300 euro, you understand, you understand what it means to receive 1,300 euro. So I was like, okay, what I'll just do is, since my bank account manager speaks English, I'll just go to him, and he should be aware if it's a fake or a real check. So what I did was I went to the bank in the afternoon. That's after their break hour at around 1:30, and I went to my bank manager, and immediately I took this envelope with me as well. So immediately I brought out the check. I was like, okay, this is my plight. I have finished my diploma. He congratulated me and he was excited for me, and told him, okay, while I finished, I've been trying to look for a job, and as a student living in France, and I'm trying to sustain myself. And he was like, okay. And I told him, okay, there's this website I applied to for a menial job and stuff like that. And what they did, immediately I just brought out the check like this. He just grimmed his face and just squeezed his face and was like, nah, this is not real, that it is fake. In fact, he said it's a stolen check. Before I even went to my bank manager, I had done some research on YouTube, watched some videos, and I saw it is the same. And one thing that they said, that if you want to know if a check is not genuine, it 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 will not have the check number, I think so. Yeah, but this doesn't have a check number, and I think the check number is usually here. So I didn't see any check number. I looked at Google to see other checks and stuff like that, but I didn't see any check number. And so one other thing again that was confusing me was, this is the date that was written by the person that sent me the check, 31st of July 2024. And here, if you look closely, you see that there is a date here, and this date is the 8th of July 2024. So how come it has two dates? I think this is actually not his check. So when I took it to my bank manager, he said, no, it's a stolen check. He said, however, it is possible for them to cash this check for me. But at the end of the day, I will be the one on the losing side. So I was like, okay, no, no, no. I don't even want to hear any information further about this. I don't want to hear anything about this. At some times, especially when you are like a foreigner living in another country, and you are looking for a job, and you've been trying all this while to get a job and you haven't gotten any, and you see an opportunity like this, you see something like this, you may be too excited to just go to the bank and cash the check, not knowing that it's fraud. And from the videos I watch on YouTube, it says that some people are even like imprisoned, like they they have it has legal complications, or legal implications as well, for checking or cashing a fake check. So I didn't want to be the one on the losing end. 1,300 euro, yes, is a good amount of money that will actually solve a lot of things for me now, but I don't want to jeopardize my chances of staying in France, or the opportunities I have going to other countries, all because of 1,300 euros. So I had to really confirm very well, be skeptical about it, because nobody pays you for not working. There is nothing free in this world. You have to work for it. You have to put in the work. Even if you win a scholarship, you put in the work. By applying, you put in the work. By studying, you put in the work. There are some scholarship that would even require you to maintain a certain grade point in order for you to be kept to keep benefiting from the scholarship. So it's work. There's no how you get. It's not free money. You are actually working for it, but you are working for it with your head, academics, and the rest like that. So for everyone else there that is like a foreigner living in France and think, oh, fraud doesn't exist in abroad, it does. They have different ways. Sometimes I've even received calls from people. They're like, okay, this is trying to fetch or trying to retrieve my bank details. But anybody that calls me, the thing I do is, if it's not my Lizzo that calls me, and they can't call me, they always contact me on email. If it is not them, then it will be the bank. If it's not the bank, then it should be the electricity company. These are the only three people that I know that if they call me and they mention the organization name, I will know that it's legit. Anybody else that called me is fake. So besides, they'll call and start speaking in French. I ask them, do you speak English? And when they don't speak English, they just end the call. So for those that even try to speak English, I feel, oh, it is not genuine, then I just cut off the call. So for students living in abroad and you may not know that such things like this exist, please be careful. And when you see this kind of amount on the check and you feel, oh, let me quickly go and cash it, they will not catch me. Just be careful. Be careful. You don't want to jeopardize your travel history. You don't want to jeopardize your chances of staying continuously in the country. Yeah. Okay, that's that about what happened to me recently, and I know that it's been quite a long time since I shared anything about scholarship. But one important thing you should know, or one exciting and amazing news you should know, is that Chevening Scholarship will be on or will be opening in on the 6th of August. That's this month, as on Tuesday. So get prepared, start learning, or go to the Chevening website and start seeing what it's all about. What do you need to prepare for the Chevening scholarship? What do you need to have? How does your profile need to look in order to ace the Chevening or to win the Chevening scholarship? There are other scholarships too that are available. The DART scholarship is still open. You can apply for the DART scholarship. I tried to apply for the DART scholarship for my PhD, but getting a supervisor in Germany is not easy. So I will look at other places. And again, this month of August, September, October, November, December is more like the application season for admissions into US universities. So try and also look at some universities in the in the US, and see if you can get one or two professors that would want to supervise you for your MSc or your PhD program. And just do your research. One thing about this is you don't expect people that know about scholarships being available to come and drop it on your table and say, okay, take some or submit an application for you. Some people would want you to do the work for them. No, it doesn't work like that. All you're just receiving is information. What I tell my friends is that there are a lot of opportunities out there. The only thing that people don't know of is the information. People don't have an information of what to do. So brace up, do your research yourself. You have a mobile phone, you can search on these schools, search about the school, know about the subject that you want to study, or the course that you want to take. When you do your search, go to the start. You can start writing, because you can write on an A4 sheet. After you write, you go to the cyber cafe and they type it. Then you have this. You can submit it like that. If you don't have access to a computer, you can go and buy time in the cyber cafe and upload your documents. That's how you do. If you really want to win a scholarship, if you really want to get that thing that you so want to get, you must not let anything hold you back. Let nothing limit you. That is just the advice I have for you now. And in the subsequent week, while I continue my search for PhD programs and search for jobs, I will try as much as I can to bring you latest updates on scholarship. Thank you for always following this channel, and bye bye.